A sustained period of bad weather was forecast, and although not as bad as first thought, parts of the coast took another battering today. Here in Carnlough, emergency services were again out in force. This wall was damaged in Friday's storms, and today it took more of the same. One MLA says the seawall defences date back centuries and need to be upgraded.
Only for sandbags, only for the quick sinking of the local councillor, only for the quick and efficient response by the Larne Council. Things could have been a lot worse here today.
Some of the most dramatic scenes of the bad weather at the weekend were on this road in Warrenpoint. Thankfully today things were much calmer. In the northwest, the banks of the Foyle came pretty close to bursting. The search and rescue service were monitoring water levels all day.
Well, water levels right now are extremely high. It's a 2.8 metre tide, and there's only maybe about 2 feet between here and between the water and the walkway that we're standing on. So it's pretty high, but it's not dangerous at the moment.
The Sydenham area of East Belfast has been the focus of much of the prevention operation. More sandbags were delivered today, but thankfully with drier conditions, the high tide didn't cause any flooding. Residents here have been on high alert since last week.
The policeman had said on Thursday night,
Yes.
Is there anywhere we could go? Well, with our sons and all, and I says, I'm not leaving here. You know, what's the use? What's the use?
I am concerned because I've had to book the day off work, and luckily my employers have been quite adaptable, and I appreciate that.
Schools in several areas finished early today, including this one. The principal of Victoria Park Primary says it could be perceived as over the top, but it's better to be safe than sorry.
It's hard to know just if we had heavy rain or the winds continued that there could be some flooding. So I suppose we prefer to sacrifice an hour than the children going home in the middle of any flooding and danger.
Flooding did affect one part of Hollywood this afternoon here at the Esplanade. Police closed the road and diverted traffic away. Questions have been asked about why the police, rather than a government agency, have taken the lead in this operation. The PSNI said today they were in charge because it's a Category 1 alert, meaning a potential danger to life. Thankfully, lives and property in this area have been left unscathed. Residents are relieved the alert appears to be over for now. Tara Mills, BBC Newsline, East Belfast.
When the sea is so close, it's perhaps easy to forget how powerful it can be. It was no day for a picnic as huge waves pounded the County Down coast. Yesterday, part of the road was washed away. This afternoon, with another storm surge imminent, people in Ballywalter were hoping for the best, but prepared for the worst. Well, this is high tide and the waves are ferocious, but it doesn't look like the storm surge is going to be strong enough to reach the houses on the other side of the sea wall here. In the end, it was a spectacle rather than an emergency.
It's got a sort of raw beauty, hasn't it? I think it's lovely. I could watch it all day.
I mean, it's frighteningly exciting, I suppose. But, it's quite spectacular.
But not everyone was heeding the warnings to take extreme care. The Coast Guard were on hand to warn people away. The waves threw boulders ashore. In Ballyhalbert, residents took it upon themselves to clear the way for motorists. They're worried that the sea is wearing down the shore.
We're losing more and more of the coastline. It's tragic. Well, there's nothing we can do about it.
This man has only just moved here.
Baptism of fire, I think, is the way it was described to me earlier. The water was halfway up our driveway, so it got quite close.
It's been a dramatic few days. High tides and strong winds make for a formidable force, but the worst of the battering is over. Chris Page, BBC Newsline on the Arts Peninsula.